Hey, Anne-Sophie.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. So lovely to have you here. So
Thank
wonderful.
you for having me.
Not at all. It's for me, it's just fantastic. And for me, it was also fantastic to work with you in two shows with Opera Holland Park,
Yeah,
where you did Isabeau, Mascagni.
yeah, that was such an amazing production. The music was stunning, and everything looked like a fairy tale. So yeah, it was fantastic production.
But you were incredible. I mean, you were really incredible. I mean, the whole riding on a horse
Oh,
and
that was so much fun. No, the staging was incredible, and the ending where I had to fall down the staircase. I
yes,
was helped by the dancers, and I still had obviously to sing. But
yeah.
we worked so hard on this. It was brilliant. It was
Oh,
really brilliant.
and then you did something that you never do. I was covering you in Amelia for Un Ballo in
Yeah,
Maschera. And
absolutely.
you haven't taken a day off in 20 years,
No.
and you choose the time when I'm covering you.
Well, I must have felt safe with you, darling. That's why I just thought, oh, this time I can.
It's so
Yeah.
funny because you are known as the person that never, ever, ever, ever takes.
No, but that time I had a problem with my neck and my shoulder,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and I couldn't move.
yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, so thank God you were there.
Well, thank you for just trusting me because it was such a massive deal. But I did it, and I didn't let you
Yeah,
down, and I was really happy about that.
no, you were brilliant. You were brilliant.
So, hi, it's 9:01, and I am Nadine Benjamin, and I'm an international soprano. I'm also a certified high performance coach, and I'm an accredited NLP mind coach. And I love championing, celebrating, and really connecting people and keeping in a really high frequency. I love this high frequency, the frequency tapping into our higher selves. And today I really want to celebrate. And this lady is just, you are, Anne-Sophie, just such a formidable lady. And it says it here. It says, you are described as a formidable singing actress. She has garnered high critical acclaim internationally for her portrayal of leading verismo roles. Anne-Sophie performs regularly with pianist Antoine Paloc, and Anne-Sophie was nominated in 2013 for Outstanding Achievement for her portrayal of Cho-Cho-San and Opera Holland Park, What's on Stage Awards, for Best Opera La Voix Humaine in Buxton, Manchester Theatre Awards, Best Opera Madame Butterfly in 2014 in Canada's Sterling Award, and Best Opera in Trittico for RPS Award in 2015. Her interpretation of Iris in 2016 at OHP won Outstanding Achievement for the Broadway Awards. Oh my goodness, you are. And what I love about you is always as well, you're a very flexible artist, and so that's been really wonderful to watch as well, that you can just turn your hand to anything. I've seen you sing Verdi to Puccini to, Mascagni,
Yeah.
that's really, but just before we start, everybody, just to let you know that Anne-Sophie and I are not medical professionals. We're not here to act or represent in that way. We are here to be in connection, to identify, to share with you tools and other ideas around things that we as humans deal with. So we're just here for human connection, and we're so happy to be here this morning. And as I always say, please, please, please stay in connection. Pick up the phone to someone, pick up the phone for yourself, and make sure that whoever may be alone doesn't feel alone. We don't have to. Okay, so let's start. Good morning, Bobby Jeffrey.
Hey, Bobby.
Morning, lovely ladies. And then Linda is saying, good morning, Nadine and Sophie. And Bobby Jeffrey is also saying, a lovely lady to work with, a joy. I agree.
Oh, thank you, and it's always been lovely to work with you too.
Yeah, I mean, I think before I even ask you the questions, it's really funny that when I was covering you for Amelia, you have to be one of the only people that I've ever gone up to, and you checked in on me. you were like, Nadine, is this role going okay for you? Can I be of any support? And I was like, there's one line, and and this one line, and you were like, oh, maybe think about it like this, and that. Such a generous artist.
But that's how it, I don't know how to do it in another way. We're all in the same boat, and we have to help each other out. Otherwise it's so sad.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the music is there to be shared. We have to try to do it the best we can. So for that, you should never feel alone.
Yeah.
And you always feel free to just ask around. And I don't have all the answers.
No. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's nobody. But we can all try together.
Yes.
And that's I think for me it's the only option. We have to try. We have to try to do something, and we have to try to give our best, and just send things out and see how it goes, and be as authentic as we can, and true to ourselves, and trying to find the best option to be generous in a way.
Yeah, I couldn't say that better, so I'm not even going to comment. I hear you. So tell us, how did your musical journey start?
Well, I have a funny story for you. The day I was born, my mother, she gave birth, and I was they bring me back in our room, and she had the radio on, and she had the Valkyrie on. So as soon as I was on this earth, I had music with me. So and she always laughed telling me that story, that the first thing I heard when I came out was Wagner.
Oh wow.
I'm not a Wagnerian soprano, but I was just music, singing, it was always there. And I've been very lucky, because my parents were very musical. They were not musicians. My mom is a physio, my dad is a doctor. So but they love music, and so we always went to concerts, and I started music very early.
Yes.
I wanted to dance, as probably every little girl, and so I started to dance when I was like 3, 4. I went to the local conservatoire, and then my mom said to me, "Oh, do you want to play an instrument? Do you want to play the piano?" And I said, "Oh yeah." It was 4,
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, of course." And then I had to, before in France, I don't know how it works in the UK, but in France you have to do 1 year of solfège. It's a music theory, so you need to need to learn how to read the music before you start an instrument. So I had a year. I was 4.5 to 5.5, where I went to these classes, but I didn't know how to read letters. I was the youngest, and so it was a bit frightening at first, but I learned to read the music, and before reading the letters. So I always say, in a funny way, music is my first language.
Yes. Oh gosh, Jane Robinson, she's one of the coaches at ENO, and I know that in her heart she would love for everybody to do that, to get an opportunity, whether they go on to learn an instrument or not, to have a year learning theory of music. Because
then you have the basis, and everything goes, it's smoother, because you already know how to read the music, you understand the rhythms and everything, and it makes it easier. And so then I started the piano, and I discovered more about opera when I was around 8, and then I said to my mom, I want to be a singer. And she looked at me and said, okay, but keep playing the piano.
Wow.
So how old were you when you're that young, you can't know if you will have a voice. But I was determined to work in the area of opera. So I said, well, okay, if later I discover I don't have a voice, I will be a rep.
Yes.
That's fine. So I really trained for that. So I trained to be a repetitor, and I did chamber music. I did a lot of things, and I started singing when I was 18.
Okay. Yeah.
And very quickly, my teacher said, "Yes, it's okay. You have a voice." So I kept, both things going on for a while, and then I didn't have time to do really well both. So I did the competition to get into the conservatoire, the National Conservatoire in Paris. I got in. Then I had 2 kids while I was a student, and I graduated later. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So you were a young mom as well then?
Yeah, I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, my eldest daughter, when I was 21.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
You were starting singing.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that about you. That's fantastic. One of the things, so what can I ask you then?
Yeah.
I didn't know this information, everybody. So, and it's just because I do know a lot of young mums at the moment, or mums that are returning back to singing.
Yeah.
What would you say to them in terms of how to manage their time and stuff?
Well, the thing is, in my case, it was a bit different because I was a student.
Yeah.
I was not traveling as much as I would be later. But I think the thing is, the only advice I could give in a way is just trust yourself.
Yeah.
And keep going. Yeah. Keep going, trust yourself, get the help you need, either your partner, your husband, your wife, it's just keep going.
Yes.
Don't listen to people who said to you, "Oh my God, it's going to be difficult." How are you going to balance? Well, when you're the CEO of a company, nobody tells you that.
Yes.
And you have the same kind of, very difficult work balance thing to manage. So why, as an artist, is it suddenly so complicated?
Yeah.
You're a working mom.
Yes.
So go for it. Honestly, just go for it and trust yourself, because we have inside a lot of capacity and a lot of, but sometimes it's crushed by the outside, because people will say, "Oh my God, you have to stay at home with." No, you don't have to. If that's not what you want, you just find the balance and find. It's not easy.
No.
Let me be clear. It's not easy because I've missed a lot of my, of my daughters growing up. I've missed birthdays, school shows and everything. I've been away for a lot of things. I tried my best to be present, and thank God for technology for that. But of course you will miss things.
Yes.
Of course, but that's life.
Yes.
But I always thought, and I have 2 girls, and I also thought that for them to be able later to choose the path they really wanted, I had myself to show them that it was possible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I wanted them to be strong and feel that whatever they chose to do, they could. If they decided that it was their path, they should do it. And that's their choice, as it was my choice to embrace this crazy profession.
Oh, Anne-Sophie, thank you. It's just that I mentor so many people, and this is something that always comes up, and I can't really speak to it because I'm not a mother. I always say that I'm Mother Earth and not Mother Birth. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I just saw that opportunity there, and I had to ask that question, and you answered it so beautifully. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So you have had a really long relationship with Opera Holland Park.
Yes.
And can you tell us about why that's important? Because it's been really phenomenal to watch.
Well, I've been very lucky because, you know, OHP has been in my life for a long time now, and I think I am who I am as an artist thanks to them. Yes. Honestly, they allowed me to grow up, you know, and the trust they put in me has given me wings. Honestly, because I met them. I auditioned for them in 2000, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I auditioned for Traviata, and the show was in 2001. So that's where I started with them, and I honestly, it was incredible because at that time, I remember very well. My English was not very good, but you can still hear my accent. But at that time, it was just like crazy, and I couldn't really understand everything. I was lost. And I remember the director saying, "You go there, you know," and I always said, "Yeah." Having not really a clue what's going on, but I learned fast. So that's okay. I remember every night I was in my room with a dictionary, and I was just going, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So I learned, and then and the Traviata was a big success, and then they offered me Rondine, and then, you know, it just went on and on like that. But it was a real collaboration. That was the most amazing thing about OHP. It's because we always talked about what would come next.
Yes.
You know, they will say, "Oh, what do you think of that? What do you think it would be good for you? Give us, you know, roles that you would like to sing. Let's see if we can make it work." It was just the most incredible collaboration. Honestly, James Clatton has a vision. So he's really, you know, when he trusts you, he doesn't let you down, and it's incredible. And as an artist, to feel that your producer trusts you, and he's ready to take risks.
Yes.
Honestly, because, you know, I was very young, and I had, you know, I was starting, and so he really took risk on me on it. And that's the reality.
Yeah.
But because I felt such support, I just gave everything, because it was just amazing. And it's on top of that, it's an incredible place because everybody there works, you know, it's a real company.
Yes.
Real company. People work together, and I think that makes a huge difference. You know, you work with the chorus, you work with the technical team, everybody. There is a real sense of company, of a company working together, and that's probably why it makes this company so special. Also,
I find the company extremely special. I mean, they were the first company ever that, when I finished the show, there was a photo of the show that I was in with a picture of myself, a proper photo, not just a random thing, with all the signatures of everybody of the company and the management and everything saying thank you. The first day, the meets and greets, the way that, you know, everybody's spoken to, and you're like the collaboration about, you know, what would you like to do next? Where would you like to go? How would you like to grow with us? It's so rare.
It is rare. Honestly, it is rare.
It's really rare.
But that's why we have. I'm very, very, very grateful for this for this collaboration. Honestly, it's special, and I'm very, very thankful for that. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's been very important for me.
Yeah, well, we can see that, and it's so beautiful to see how you have grown with them, and you know, you just keep going from strength to strength, you know, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it the thing is also they allow me to explore, you know, repertoire that are really close to my heart, and that's amazing, because it's repertoire that's, you know, that's not very, you know, it's not the big popular operas, but I love them.
Yeah, you love the verismo, because
that's really my, you know.
They really, really suit you. And Bobby is saying they're why I've managed over 20 years. Lovely people, OHP. I hear you, Bobby.
Yeah,
you know, I've got a thing about Verdi, and so then giving me the opportunity to cover Amelia was just, and I did it actually. I also did it twice, didn't I? So I didn't do it anymore. But yeah, I did the role, you know. So and that's a dream come true for me as well.
And it's also a company that does a lot of outreach work.
Yeah.
I think that's also that also has an influence on the whole company itself. You know, it's not just a festival that will do a few shows in the summer.
Yeah,
they work all year.
Yes, they do
all year, and they do amazing outreach work, and that says a lot about the spirit of the company.
Yeah, they work with people with dementia, they work with children, they work with disabilities, they work with trauma, they work with everything, you know.
And that shows, you know, how important, you know, they for them the human being is, and it's not only about putting up shows, it's about sharing and about, you know, being humans together.
Yes, humankind. I love a humankind.
Yes.
I do. I love it. Linda is saying, wow, your daughters are so blessed to have you as a mother. I agree, Linda.
I don't know, but I'm blessed to have them as daughters. You know, they are incredible. They are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I'm a very lucky mum.
So we're moving on now to your subject matter, which we wanted to talk about, which was about creativity and maintaining mental health. Do you want to just kind of bring us into that?
Well, when we talked together about, you know, finding a subject, and I thought that was probably at the moment, because of everything we're going through, we can't avoid the subject. It's been very important to keep creative, and I think for me to keep creative has helped keeping my mental health. Because well, I think I can share that easily, because it's something I have to deal with, and I'm sure a lot of people have to deal with that too. But I've been struggling with depression a few times in my life, and it's hard.
Yes,
it's really hard, and so you have to find help.
Yes,
but also you have to keep working, and that helped me actually. I've never stopped, even in the times where I was really, really, really down. I never stopped working, and I think that really saved me in ways to keep that creativity going on.
Yes,
and I think that's very important to keep that going. And in the first lockdown, I was very lucky, because I did there was this creative team called Opera Harmony.
Okay.
by Ella Marchment.
Mm.
And she sent out an idea at the beginning of the lockdown, the first one, and said, "Oh, who want to create an opera?" And I said, "Well, if you need me, I'll be there."
Yeah.
So so it was absolutely amazing, because we went on creating an opera, you know, in confinement.
Yeah.
And so Rose Hall, she wrote the music, and Candace Evans from the States, she wrote the libretto, and she directed me.
Yeah.
So my husband filmed. It was I recorded the music in my bedroom. It was the most incredible experience.
Yeah.
And so and it was, and it was really amazing to be able to keep being creative, because when suddenly everything stops and you're so used to all the time create new things, discuss with directors, with conductors, and put ideas on and work on music, and just think, how can I do that, and where can I go, and could we do that, and then suddenly everything just go silence. And that was a bit terrifying. I was a bit under shock at the beginning. It was just like, oh, okay, that's weird, and I don't like it at all. And then to be able to create again, even though it was in these weird conditions, it was, oh my God, it was just like oxygen was flowing up again. So I guess everybody has different needs, and I think it's important to be tuned to your needs. And it's not easy, because sometimes it takes a while to identify the needs.
Yes.
So that's why sometimes you really need to get some help of a real, of a practitioner, of a doctor, or whatever, feels right to you. But don't never stay on your own, I think. That's the only, because if you stay on your own, you just you can spiral very easily into a place that is where there is not much light, and that's not good. So, and
sorry,
but asking for help sometimes is very difficult.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
So that's why it's not easy. It's not easy.
Cut and dry, is it? It's not as cut and dry as.
No.
So this is why I always say to people that if you see someone who you know is struggling, actually approach them, especially in this time, because depression can lead you into like a spiral of not even wanting to get up or pick up the phone or leave the house.
You don't want to talk. You don't want to reach out. You don't have the energy for that.
Yeah.
It's just, I remember very well when I was really down, picking up the phone was just like climbing the Everest. It was just not an option. So it's not as, it's not, I'm not saying, well, if you feel down, just ring a friend.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. It would be amazing if it could work like, but it's more tricky. But identifying what could work for you to just start the journey of getting help. That's a start.
Yeah. No, I really, and one of the things that I spoke about, especially at the beginning of Safe at Home, was about having Martin Stiles, another therapist that was on here. Yeah. He spoke about having something to look forward to, because that's really important.
Absolutely, that's very important, to be able to project with something, because when suddenly everything's shut down and you have no idea what tomorrow is going to look like, and that's terrifying. But if you have, even if it's in 10 days or 3 months or 6 months, there is something that you will have to do. That's an anchor point. It's just, do you hold on to that?
Yeah.
And then you can start moving again. But it's tricky. It's tricky. And I think what we have been living in the last months has been difficult. You can't, I've talked to people who say, oh, that was the opportunity to do a lot of things. And I say, well, you're lucky. You're very lucky to have been able to, to feel that way. It's not been that simple for a lot of us, Of course, I had more time to look after my garden.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the energy to get up in the morning, you can't look after your garden. So that's...
Some people don't have a garden.
I have a tiny one, but...
But it's the truth. And I'll be honest, like the very first Safe at Home, I just wanted to be here to serve. I didn't have I didn't have any kind of thought process. I was fine. I was absolutely fine until BLM happened. But then in this one, I wasn't okay the first 10 days.
Yeah, I found the second one more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. The second one was more difficult for me, and it was only in the first 10 days because I'm back to my groove again now. But the first 10 days, I really when I had like 8 phone calls in one day saying we're cancelling, we're postponing, we're cancelling, and it was all in the same day. And somebody that was supposed to be buying my house pulled out of my house on the same day. And then somebody that I was very much in love with told me that whatever was going to happen wasn't going to happen. And then it was just like one thing after the other, all in the same day. And I remember this 10 days of this wealth of loneliness that I'd never felt before. And so I knew I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
Because I have the most wealthy of spiritual friends, but that aloneness of, for the first time, of going, oh my gosh, like being stripped bare almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
And having to stand still and say, who am I now?
Yeah.
Who am I now? And it was such a great adventure to take, I suppose. It was painful.
Yeah, it is painful.
It was so painful. And I felt like I was having a dark night of the soul for 10 days. And then I saw the light. And when I saw the light out the other side, I was 100 times more stronger.
Yeah, of course, because you had this journey, and it's true that, when you experience difficulties, you learn about yourself too.
Yeah,
it's not just a figure of speech. It's real, but it's very difficult to experience, and when you are in the middle of the crisis, when people say, oh, you will learn, what? No, at the moment I'm not learning anything. I'm just in pain. So but learning does come.
It does come. If we're patient, it definitely.
Absolutely.
And Gabby is just saying, a breath of fresh air combined with compassion. I love that. And a breath of fresh air. Love Sophie's openness. So, and that's what I love about you as well, Anne-Sophie. You've always had that. You never come up and talk to and you're like, you're always like, completely ready to receive.
Life is too short, and you don't, what's the point? If you don't connect, what's the point?
Exactly. So tell us, what would be kind of your 3 tips for people going forward?
Well, I have my 3 things I need to do every day that are very, very important, and they ground me.
Yes.
They give me my stability. And the first thing I do in the morning is I write 3 pages. And I've not invented that, it's Julia Cameron's.
The artist's way, isn't it?
Absolutely, the artist's way. And I did last year. I did a weekend of writing session, and I was introduced to these 3 morning pages by a coach, and it changed suddenly. Really, I thought, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. So my 3 morning pages, you will always find me in the morning with my book, and it's very important. And it's just thoughts, and there is nothing. I'm not writing a book in the morning. I'm just, everything just poured out. And
it's like
a cleansing thing. I don't know, and it's amazing. It's just really, really amazing.
Yeah, it's like the unconscious writing, like a brain dump almost.
Absolutely, and it's so good to start the day with that, because suddenly it's just, it's just you breathe out things, and then you're ready for the day to breathe in new things.
Yes.
So it's really, really, really good. Yeah. And the second important thing I do every day is I walk.
Yes.
I need to walk. I just need to walk. And I'm very lucky because I have 2 dogs. So they need to walk too. So we walk together.
Yes, yeah.
And that's really, I think walking has always been very important, because it's just, you put your body in motion, and you just let your thoughts go, and it's really, really good. I need to walk. That's very important. And the third thing I do every day also is pray. And that doesn't matter the time in the day. It's always something I can just, if I feel a little bit imbalanced, or I feel that I'm somehow, I need to regroup, that's where I go. And you don't need anything.
No, I pray too. So yeah, so I identify with that.
So that's I would say that are 3 very, very important things that I need every day.
Yeah.
Just to, keep a sense of, I don't know, balance.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We've got Marjorie here asking. So yeah, please feel free to answer questions, anybody. I forgot to say that earlier, and Anne-Sophie will answer whatever she can. She said, what would be the difference between writing everything down in the morning to writing everything down at night?
Well, I think that you are in a very different frame of mind when you wake up, because you have to, the concept of these 3 morning pages are, you wake up, you write. You don't, you have to do it as close to the moment you wake up, for your thoughts to just be an outpouring thing, and you just, it can be the most silly things to. I remember writing a lot of anger, but it was going out, so suddenly it was not, I didn't have to keep it inside. It was just like, give it to the pages, please. And I think if you write at night, you are in another frame of mind, because you had your day behind. So you have all the things you have been doing in the day that will probably interfere. I don't know. Maybe you have to experience it yourself, Marjorie. You just try a week writing in the morning, and try a week writing in the evening, and see what the difference is. But for me, it's the morning is really the best moment.
Yeah. So one of the things, Marjorie, and just if I can also contribute, the morning pages, as Anne-Sophie says, is about a cleansing. I really love the way that Anne-Sophie puts that, but in the evening, what those pages could be about, and which is what I do in the evening, is I say what I'm grateful for
That's a different journal. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what could I have changed or done better today? And then how would I like my day to be tomorrow? So I use it to build. So to build and vision, So I think the morning is like, just get all the stuff out that would stop any of that. And then in the evening, you're building. So you load at night and get rid of in the morning. Load at night, get rid of in the morning. Load at night, get rid of in the morning. It's like a pattern, isn't it?
Yeah.
A really good cleansing pattern. So I don't know if that's helpful to you as well, Marjorie, just to say that. And Denise just saying, inspiring conversation, ladies. Thank you for sharing your honesty and warmth. Also for the reminder about the 3 pages, such an amazing tool. Yes, exactly.
It is an amazing tool. Honestly, it is, absolutely. But I agree with you, Nadine, that writing down at night few things that you are grateful.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a silly thing, a small thing, just, I'm grateful to be alive today, or I'm grateful that the sun was up, and I'm grateful I had a conversation with my neighbor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like, I'm grateful I've done something very important.
Yeah.
Because you don't do important things every day.
Oh.
But a grateful, being grateful I think is really important.
Yeah.
And writing down that every night is. I remember one of my daughters. She had a tough time with the first confinement, and we were trying to help her with little tools like that. And writing in the morning and writing in the evening 3 things that she was grateful for was really helpful. She really connected to that, and that was an entry point to start something different. So it is helpful. And there are amazing, people who can give you amazing tips,
Yes, absolutely.
And there are so many fantastic books you can read about all that. And I remember asking you, Nadine, to can you give me a few names of books that I can read about creativity, and you gave me the name of the books, and I read them, and it was just so helpful. So I think it's there are a lot of information around there, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, and in saying that, actually, Anne-Sophie, Marjorie, there's a book called Walking in This World, which is also by Julia Cameron, and it's for the accomplished artist, actually. And it really makes such a difference. You think the artist's way is good.
Yeah.
Read Walking in This World, and you're like, oh my goodness. So maybe that might be a book for you to do, Marjorie, and it's over 12 weeks. So you can just have that process with yourself and see where it takes you. Linda's saying, yes, being grateful every day helps you to appreciate everything in your life.
So true, absolutely. And I think even more when you're feeling a bit down and things around you are not easy, I think if you remind yourself one thing every day, it just keeps you afloat.
So can I ask, because I didn't realize I was going to ask this question, but it's just here now. So in terms of the future and having something to look forward to, what would you like to attract to yourself or create in your life next in regards to your artistry?
Well, there are, I'm not sure I understand completely the question, but what I'm at this, I'm 47 now, and so I've done a lot of things, and I'm hoping to be able to do a lot more.
Yes, of course. I'm 46, so
nearly twins.
Yeah.
And so I feel I have I have experience now, and I've there is a lot of things I still want to be able to give, and I feel more comfortable on stage than I did 20 years ago. I feel more comfortable with my voice because I've been working on it, a lot and working hard. And I had moments where it was a bit tricky, so I worked even harder to keep it in track. And so it's not an easy journey being an opera singer. Your voice goes through different kind of evolution, and I had I think I can share that. It's not a secret yet, but I had early menopause, and that also influenced my voice. And so I had to work on that and find retrain a little bit, rework on on my technique to adapt it to the way my body was evolving and everything. So it's always a work in progress. I think as a singer you can never say, now I know how to sing. No, you don't. Or maybe for 5 minutes. And the next day you have to do it all over again. So here you go. So so I keep training, I keep learning, I keep practicing every day, and I discover new things. And I said, oh my God, if only I had known that like 10 years ago. But no, it's the way it is. So you know it now, and you know it for later. That's fine. You have to accept it. But so I really hope I can be on stage for 20 more years. That would be amazing. Because there are a lot of repertoire I would love to be able to do, and things, and and roles that are now I feel that I would be really more comfortable with, because I have more experience and my voice is more solid and everything. So I feel I have a lot to give. But I don't know if there is no certainty that's going to be possible. No, you have no idea. You don't know if the theaters are going to respond to that. You don't know if the producers will be happy to have you. You don't know. Nothing is set in stone. So you try to keep going at the best of your abilities. You offer things, hoping it will be received. But there is no guarantee. So that's why it can be sometimes difficult to manage. But saying that, there is also something I've been doing for a few years now, but not really acting on it. I conduct, especially.
I meant to ask that question. I didn't know why I was meant to ask that question, but it's so we can find this out.
And so I've done that mainly for vocal groups, and I love it. I actually did that when I was very young. When I was between 18 and 22, I did conduct vocal groups, and I really enjoyed it. And then I went on doing different things. But I have the basics, I have them. And I remember very well when I was at the Conservatoire, I had to conduct a contemporary piece. It was really tricky. And I just went on. I was singing and conducting the orchestra, and it was like, the crazy things you do when you're young and you don't realize. And then there was the teacher of the conducting class that was in the room, and he said to me, "Oh, you're really good, and you could join the class." And I said, "Well, I'm too busy. I have babies, and I'm doing, I'm already in the singing class, so I can't do." So, but lately, so I have this, I do that from time to time, and I was very lucky to conduct at the Opéra Comique in October.
Oh, la la!
Yeah, that was really nice. There is this group, the French singers, because of all the problems with the pandemic, we created it's not, I don't know the equivalent would be in the UK, but it's an association of singers to defend our rights.
Oh, wow.
So we did a fundraising concert
at
the Opéra Comique in October. And we sung only ensembles and trio, quartets, and big ensembles and stuff. And I said I would be happy to conduct serenade to music.
Oh yes! Oh, that's one of the things I've just had postponed. So and I love it.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I never sung it before.
Yes, at the proms. Yeah.
It's really beautiful. So I conducted that, and I just said, well, and I had really nice feedback, and I just thought, if I can put also, that it's all the different things you can do in your life, and you enjoy that, and you can actually do it because you have the knowledge about music and everything. And so I don't know, at the moment I'm putting things out there.
Also up for
and I said, well, I can do that.
You're also up for doing masterclasses as well, aren't you? Because French repertoire, Italian repertoire.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing masterclasses. That it's very. I think I love the exchange. Because there are a lot of people in the room, and it's just like ideas going like that, and I enjoy that. I enjoyed what the energy circulate. Have you said that?
Yes, of course.
It's not very English.
No, it's great. It's fantastic. You're expressing yourself.
Yeah. So at the moment, I honestly don't know what the next 10 years will look like.
Yeah.
In my dream world, I will be on stage singing, and I will be in the pit conducting. Trying to find a balance between the two. But who knows?
I love it. I love that. I just love it. Thank you. I'm so glad I asked the question. I don't know where. I'm very intuitive, so I have to go with my intuition. And I just love that I got that answer. It's so, thank you so much. And,
we'll see. It's just, I think the only option we have is, as I said before, is to try things.
Yeah, exactly.
And see what happens, and and you put your whole. I think the key is is to put all your heart in it.
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does, and you don't even know why.
Yeah. And I do believe that music, art is a sacred act of the heart.
Totally. Absolutely.
So
I'm 100% with you on that.
Yeah. So Bobby is just saying, this is wonderful, a great start to the day. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, and thank you. Where can we find you?
Well, I live in France. No, more seriously, so I have an Instagram thingy. So it's just Anne-Sophie Duprels.
Oh, brilliant. So
I have a Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just Duprels, I think.
Yeah.
I have a Facebook page called Anne-Sophie Duprels Soprano.
Yeah.
And I have a website, just Anne-Sophie Duprels.
And I love it. It's all about Anne-Sophie.
Just very straightforward. So yeah, and I must say I'm trying my best to keep to keep things going on all these social media things. I must admit I'm not very good, but I try.
Yeah, you're there once a week. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine as long as you just stay, as you say, you talked about a lot today is about staying in connection.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people that respect, love, and admire you.
Oh, thank
you. And so they always want to hear what you're doing, and what you're creating, and you know how they can possibly collaborate or work with you or whatever. So yeah, just keep
everything's possible, and I think that's the most important. And if you have an idea, try.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you so much, Anne-Sophie. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. Really appreciate you today, and thank you for this. Oh, superstar you are. I love it. I love your grace. I love your tenderness. I love your honesty. I love your authenticity. I love your light. I love your openness. I love your directness. I love your talent. I love your intelligence. I love your spirituality. I just love that you showed up here to share today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Nadine. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a great day.